Alright, as I said, I'm going to do the review later on tonight, which is morning for certain parts of the world. It's time zone stuff. So I enjoyed some other stuff, getting caught up on things that otherwise I wouldn't, because normally there'd be hockey on. Tomorrow night there is, and we're going to be watching Game 6. This may be curtains, or it might be a miraculous new start. We do not know yet which players are going to play for San Jose, which guys could end up being out. We don't know if Dunn is going to be back for St. Louis at last I saw. So we really don't know what's going to happen. This could be a crazy game. And St. Louis does have the 3-2 lead. They can go to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in more than a while. It has been a very, very long time since the St. Louis Blues were in a Stanley Cup. With 11 wins, this is the most that St. Louis has ever had in a playoff run, so congratulations to them. But as far as they're concerned, they're 5 wins away from the ultimate goal. And when you look at this series, St. Louis switched the whole momentum thing. They lost Game 1 6-3 to San Jose. They won Game 2 4-2. They, of course, lost famously in overtime in Game 3, a game where they had shots at that empty net. If they'd hit the empty net, we're not looking at Game 6. This series is already over. Game 4, they won 2-1, and Game 5, they destroyed San Jose 5-0, a game which has to have people somewhat concerned. On the power play, San Jose is 2 for 12 in this series, whereas St. Louis is 3 for 19. St. Louis has been the more disciplined team. You look at the last game, and in hits, San Jose was actually ahead in hits, 52-34 in Game 5, because St. Louis had the puck for most of the game. If your team has the puck and you're throwing hits, it's probably interference. So 40-21 were the shots in favor of the St. Louis Blues in the last game. San Jose has to assert themselves early, and they have to show that they're not on their way out. And right now it looks like they kind of are. Shots in each period. San Jose 47 in the first period, 42 in the second, 42 in the third, and 3 in the overtime period in that one game that went to overtime. So they've been very, very consistent. St. Louis, 34 shots in the first periods, 59 in the second, 54 in the third, and then 3 in the overtime. So for them, they seem to pick up steam as the game goes along. Slow starts. San Jose with the quick starts. Hits are 182 for St. Louis, 151 for San Jose. Blocks over this series, so block shots, 88 for St. Louis, 71 for San Jose. Giveaways, they're close. 54 for St. Louis, 51 for San Jose. Scoring by period, 4 in the first period for San Jose, 6 in the second, 3 in the third. That one overtime goal. On the St. Louis side, 5 in the first, 9 in the second, 4 in the third period. So 15 goals scored in the second period in the series, 9 in the first and 7 in the third, and of course the 1 in the overtime. This game, second period, is going to be very, very key. If anything has been proven throughout this series that's been consistent, it's the second period being important. Scoring leaders, Logan Couture is, of course, the scoring leader for St. Louis. He has 14 goals and 6 assists, 20 points. Points per 60 minutes played, he's at 3.28, which is pretty high. Burns, 5 goals and 11 assists, points per 60 minutes, 1.88. Carlson, 2 goals and 14 assists, points per 60 minutes, 2.3. His points per 60 minutes are going to be higher because he's missed some time. He hasn't missed a full game up until tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But he has missed some time on the ice. Hurdle, 10 goals and 5 assists, 2.17 points per 60 minutes. Timo Meier, 5 goals, 10 assists, 2.77 points per 60 minutes. Nyquist, 1 goal and 10 assists, 2.24 points per 60 minutes. And Joe Thornton, 4 goals, 6 assists for 2.09 points per 60 minutes. On the St. Louis side of things, Jaden Schwartz, 12 goals, 4 assists, 3.04 points per 60 minutes. So he's the highest in St. Louis among the leading scorers, and he's behind Couture. Tarasenko, 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points, 2.08 points per 60 minutes. Pietrangelo, 2 goals, 10 assists, 1.56 points per 60 minutes. Perron, 5 goals, 6 assists, a 1.98 for him for every 60 minutes played. Ryan O'Reilly, 3 goals and 8 assists, a 1.7 points per 60 minutes. Parayko, 1 goal, 9 assists, 1.37 points per 60 minutes. And Bozak, 4 goals, 5 assists, 2.27 points per 60 minutes. Maybe play him a little bit more. He apparently is producing at a pretty good clip. We'll see what happens in tomorrow's game. The big storyline out of this could very well be the goaltending. Jones now with a 10-8 record, 2.96 goals against, 902 save percentage. Binnington, 11-7, 2.44 goals against, 912 save percentage. Had a shutout in the last game, and he's only allowed 1 goal in the last 2, and he seems to be rounding into, dare I say, Tuukka Rask-esque form. We may see if St. Louis wins this tomorrow and they get a nice long rest before the matchup with Boston. The series starts next Monday. That's when the finals start. So if they wrap this up tomorrow, they'll get a 6-day rest, and then the amount of rest really won't be an issue. I don't think it's going to be an issue anyways, to be honest. Because even if this went 7, you're still going to have a 4-day rest. So anyways, we'll see what happens, but Binnington seems to be getting ready to match up with Rask for what could be a very low-scoring chess match of a playoff finals if we get St. Louis and Boston. And we'll see what happens. I am favoring St. Louis in this because I think they gained a lot of momentum out of the last game. I think they physically wore down the Sharks. And I think just this war of attrition, St. Louis right now is winning that war. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You're just tapping upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.